Hi everyone, it's Elizabeth Groshar, licensed real estate instructor and broker owner of EDG Realty and EDG Realty Refer in Sarasota, Florida. Welcome back to another episode of I Got My Real Estate License, Now What? Today I'm just going to be discussing a few different ways to be able to get some listings. Listings are a great way to bring in even more leads. When you have a listing, a lot of times potential buyers will also reach out to you directly. And as always, if you have any additional ideas to help get listings, please feel free to share. A really simple idea to try and get more listings is to just post a link for a free comparative market analysis on either your social media or at the end of your emails, or really anywhere where someone can see it. If you're in the Sarasota area and you're an agent with the board, you most likely have access to Cloud CMA, and if you don't, I think you can purchase access. Not 100% sure, but if not, I'm sure there are similar products out there as well. So Cloud CMA has a link on it that is personalized for you, and if somebody clicks that link, it will automatically create a CMA. If a potential customer enters their home address, name, and email, it will email them and you a computer-generated CMA instantly. So basically, when you do this and somebody clicks the link, you've just gained the information of somebody that wants to sell their home, or at least wants to know what the value of their house is, which means you have a potential listing there. So before you do anything, you're going to want to go over the CMA. It is a computer generated, so there will likely be some homes in there that probably are not as comparable as properties that you would have handpicked. You can use this as an opportunity to create that better CMA that reflects those comparable properties and then email it over to the customer and say something along the lines of, "Hi seller, I saw you were interested in potentially selling your home. The CMA that you originally received was computer generated, so I went through it and made a few adjustments. Please see attached. I'd love to get together with you and set up a listing appointment so we can go over in detail how I can get you the best price for your home." After you do this, continue to follow up if you do not hear back. And then once you do hear back, get in there, get your listing presentation, and get it listed and sold. The next idea is a 3-for-1. And what I mean by that is you follow up a similar way, but each is its own category. The first is going to be calling expired and withdrawn listings. The second is going to be contacting for sale by owners. And the third is going to be contacting customers on the Zillow Make Me Move platform. So first, for expired and withdrawn listings, those are people that at one point wanted to sell their house or thought about selling their home and either decided against it or it expired and the previous owner just wasn't able to sell it. Most of the time, the reason for expired listings is going to be the price, so just keep that in mind when you are reaching out to them. You should reach out to these people at least monthly, if not weekly, if you want to get a constant flow of listings. Not everybody's going to answer, so the more you do, the more chance you have of getting a listing. There's a ton of different ways to find the contact information of these withdrawn and expired listings, but I recommend purchasing a program so it's a lot easier to do. You can try something like anywho.com, which is free, but purchasing a program would probably make it go by a lot quicker. You can also, if you can't find their contact information, search them on Facebook or just go to the door and knock. Personally, I don't like doing that, but a lot of people find extreme success from that. You can also always just mail something to their home. So when you call them and if you are able to reach out to them, kind of just see what went wrong with their listing and let them talk to you. If they're willing to answer the phone and talk to you, they're likely willing to tell you everything about why their home didn't sell or why they think their home didn't sell. So kind of get a feel for them and then try to set up a listing appointment and go over all your stuff in person because you can form a better relationship in person. For sale by owners are sometimes difficult to get to list with you because they want to sell it themselves. One way I have gotten for sale by owners in the past, though, is to just offer to do open houses for them. If you don't win their listing that way, you could potentially win a buyer. I always try to do, though, a one-party listing for an open house in case I do bring a buyer to that specific house, just stating that if I bring you a buyer from the open house, my brokerage will get X amount. But before you do this, make sure you talk to your broker about something like this. For the Zillow Make Me Move platform, it's kind of like a program that Zillow put into place for homeowners to just put a price on their home that would make them move. And it allows people to make them offers. A lot of times the Make Me Move price is extremely over market value, which is why they don't actually have it listed. because they're not really interested in selling their home. But the fact that they even thought about to put it up there means you could potentially get a listing from contacting these people. You could also offer to do an open house for them so they can see what kind of interest there is. Again, always check with your broker before doing stuff like this. So now that we've got cold calling out of the way, let's move on to another topic that could potentially bring you listings. If you're bored on the weekend, you can go out and scout like garage sales, yard sales, stuff like that, because a lot of times people are having those garage sales and yard sales because they're decluttering to potentially put their home on the market and sell it. So when you're there, look around, talk to the owner, and if that's what they're looking to do and they haven't signed a listing agreement yet, make sure to get yourself in there and get a listing appointment, or even bring your listing presentation with you and do it right there. You can also talk to the neighbors while you're there, and maybe one of them is looking to sell or knows someone who is, which brings me to our next idea, which is just talk to your neighbors. Make yourself a friendly face in the neighborhood, in the community. Let your neighbors know that you're in real estate, and if you continuously talk to them whenever you see them, when they're ready to sell, they're likely to bring it up in a passing conversation, and that's when you step in. If you've listened to my other podcast, you should be seeing a trend, and that's basically make yourself known as a local expert in real estate so people will just reach out to you. Being familiar brings trust. No one's going to just assume you're a realtor. You have to let it be known. My final listing strategy is not a favorite of mine, but a lot of people see success from this as well. So having a professional relationship or a friendly relationship with someone such as a divorce attorney may bring you listings. A lot of divorces will result in the parties having or wanting to sell their home to start fresh. So if you know a divorce attorney or start some type of professional relationship with one, they can refer you these customers. But keep in mind you're dealing with a divorce attorney, which means you're dealing with people that are getting divorced. That is often a fairly traumatic time in people's lives, so it may be a little bit more difficult than your average listing. So those are just some ideas of how you can get some more listings and bring some more customers your way, which in turn will bring you more money. And more money equals more problems. I'm kidding, kind of. All right, so now that you know how to get your listings, you should basically be a millionaire by now. And if you're not, what are you waiting for? On that note, I'm Elizabeth Groshar, licensed real estate instructor and broker owner of EDG Realty and EDG Realty Refer in Sarasota, Florida. Thank you for listening. Have a great week. Go out there and get those listings. Or don't, your choice.